So this topic you actually brought up, and it was pretty apropos. I feel like, yup, I definitely was going through this recently. So basically, am I depressed or am I just unfocused? If you're a regular listener, you just got here, whatever the case may be, you'll notice that it's been a little bit. It's been a little bit. And even before that, it was like a little bit before that, right? Whereas like before, it was just like an everyday thing. And then it just got worse and worse and worse because now I'm having like anxiety about the fact that I'm not uploading. I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Is it depression? Is it brain fog and stuff like that?
And just trying to tell the difference between the two. You don't want to label yourself a certain way, because of that's what, the status quo is. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you need to take a step back and refocus, or there's something that's in the back of your mind that you just need to do. And until you figure out what that is, sometimes you're in that mental haze, that fog where in your spare time, what do I do? What do I want to do?
Yeah.
What makes me smile now?
I think a lot of the times, like I just went through this recently, to be honest, especially when it comes to the show. What direction do I want to take? Right? What is it even? And it doesn't have to be necessarily about the show, maybe a relationship, right? Like, what is it? You're going to the gym. What is this about? I think it's okay. I think it's good to ask yourself those questions, because when you ask yourself those questions, maybe it's leading to a necessary change. So like I'm in school for marketing, branding, and business management, right?
Okay.
So now I'm starting to realize that there was a lot of things that I was doing like on accident with the show, right? But then there was another thing where I'm kind of realizing like, damn, it didn't really have like a goal. Like it didn't really have like an end point. It didn't really have like a solid mission or brand.
Right.
And I guess the point that I'm trying to make is when you don't have something that's concrete or that is like 100% like this is what it is and this is what it isn't. If you don't have something that's concrete, then that's when the fog starts to roll in, right? Because your image of your goal or your brand or how you brand yourself in life, it's not clear. And if you're unclear, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You're gonna get fogged up.
Right, and that's a pretty clear-cut reason of why so many people, say, they go to college and they change their majors all the time. Because you're 18, 19, you're going in there, and then now you have to say, okay, well, pick a path where you're going to be, where you see yourself in the next 10 years, 15 years. What do you want to do for the majority of your life? That's really what the question is.
Right.
Right? Pick something that you're going to specialize in for 15 plus years. And you've only just been around for 18 years. Like, I don't even know what's all out there. You know what? So I'll start with English and see what happens. And then some of your friends are going into nursing because their family, has nurses and stuff. Oh, nursing is cool. I like helping people or whatever. And then you go in there and then you're like, all this stuff is just not for me. I don't even like blood like that. So I can't do this. Okay, well, I'm going to be a teacher. I like kids. I'm going to be a school age teacher or whatever. And then you realize, the pay and the shit and teacher is horrible and whatever. And
you got kids twerking in the back. I'm
not with that. And it's okay. Well, I'm not going to be a teacher. Maybe I will be. Well, and then it just keeps going and going and going.
And then sometimes it like adds to like this anxiety or like this depression where you're like, damn, this person seems like they know what they're doing. They see, and you know what? God bless them. There's a lot of people that freaking like a giraffe coming out of the, giraffe puss that they just get up and they're fucking like praying around.
Yeah.
Some people are just born like that. Some people are inherently good at finding purpose and meaning, but to some people it doesn't come as easy.
Right.
But the point is that like, I think that people need to stop focusing so much on the ones who have or the ones that did and realize that this is just part about being a human. Like not knowing what the fuck to do is just human.
Exactly. like or even something that interests you on a normal basis. Okay, for a long portion, I was heavy into gaming. I thought I wanted to be like a pro gamer. I try to do the whole circuit bid, try going for MLG when that was big at the time, and trying to join different clans. And I was big into gaming, and now I got the Xbox at home. I come home, I don't even know. Yeah. Do I even want to play games anymore? Right. Like I'm slowly aging out of that, and then you can be very passionate about something. Yeah. Some people are passionate about music. And so, okay, I want to make music. I want to DJ. I want to do this. And then for like 5, 6, 7 years, you're all about it. You get the latest turntables. You start collecting music. You start doing your research. And then after a while, it's like, okay, this is cool. But, you find that it's been 2 weeks and you haven't touched your turntables.
Right. Is the passion gone?
Is the passion gone? Or are
you changing?
Maybe you're changing. Maybe you're finding you want to do something else. Is that a okay reason to down yourself? Right. Do you beat up on yourself? Do you call yourself a quitter? Or is this something that, okay, I've done this now. I've done it. Let me find something else. And in between finishing your past passion and finding a new one, you enter that fog. Where you're just like, you're looking for the next spark, the next light to guide you into something else. Yeah.
I think relating it back to the podcast, I think that I went through a little bit of that too, where it's like in the beginning, the podcast was really helping me through a pretty dark time in my life. And then, sometimes the darkness kept creeping up. And then I had to remind myself, like, why is it that I'm doing this? Do I truly enjoy it? Yeah, I truly enjoy it. But why do you enjoy it? I enjoy making people smile. I enjoy making people laugh, maybe. I enjoy the idea that maybe somebody listened and was like, oh, yeah, that's pretty true. Or maybe like, oh, I don't know about this guy. Whatever the case may be, there's parts of it that I do and don't like. But also, I think it comes down to like putting pressure on yourself. I think that one of the things going into the new year, 2 things going into the new year, and they're kind of related. I want to be better at being consistent and committed. So more consistent with the podcast, more consistent with communicating with people that I say that I care about. And committed to my goals and seeing them through. And this is one of them, right? Okay. Even if I don't want to do it. And then another thing is to be honest, I completely forgot the other thing. But in any case, basically, like, it's funny, we're talking about fog and now I'm fogging up.
Yeah. The one thing you said was just being consistent. And consistency is something that's even hard to do because if you don't have that inner desire to keep doing it, if it's just something that you like for the time being, of course you could pick it up for a week, 2 weeks, whatever. Think how many times you say, oh, I want to learn a new language. You saw something on TV or the movie, whatever, or you plan on traveling.
I want to do that.
Yeah, I want to do that. And then it's okay. I go download Duolingo for like 2 weeks. I'm talking to my phone, whatever. And then after a while, that passion dies down because you realize, okay, maybe I'm not traveling right now. Maybe I'm traveling next year. Yeah. I'll pick it up later. And then something else comes in, Yeah. That desire you had when you first was introduced to it, it fizzled out.
Yeah.
So now the fog starts setting in again. That light is going further away. And here comes the gray mist until something else lights up your path, whatever.
Yeah. And I think that, part about being consistent, for me, when I think about like being consistent, for me, what it does is like it translates to other things in your life, right? Mm-hmm. So like if I do this and I keep doing this, then when something else comes about, I could keep doing that. Like part about being in the gym, it's more than just like looking good, I guess, which is like the end result, right, of the work.
Right.
But the reason why being fit and stuff like that will always be admired is because of the sheer discipline that it takes. So a lot of people can attest, if they get in the habit of going to the gym, then they realize, oh, now I realize that I could be committed. I proved to myself that I could be committed, right?
Right.
And then, so what ends up happening is that, screw it, I'm turning that off. And then, so what ends up happening is that now they're committed to other things in their life. And they're like, oh, I could do that because I did this. Look at how committed I was here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Once you show that you think about it this way. I start with the most simplest of things. Once you can consistently do something simple, move on to the next task. And I used to think this was ridiculous, right? But I learned this when I was in the academy before I became a correction officer. The first thing you do when you wake up is make your bed.
Oh, yeah,
Make your bed. And I thought it was ridiculous, whatever. I thought they were just doing it to like treat us like
doesn't make sense at the time.
Whatever. It doesn't make sense. But you wake up and immediately one task is done. Right? And that's one task every day you're completing for every day of your life. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, you build that up. Now what? Now I'm on to the next one. What's the next thing I got to do? I've already completed something. So there's no excuse. I've got it done. What's the next thing? And it kind of pushes you forward into the next thing. What do you got to do?
Yep. Because if you don't do that, I noticed I'm actually depressed, right? I think I only experienced it maybe twice in my life. Once upon a time, I didn't even think it was real. But when I didn't shower for a week, I was like, all right, this is real. This is real. But I realized that to get out of depression was the little things, like making the bed, like brushing your teeth, like taking a shower, like cooking for yourself. Because oftentimes, if you don't do the little things, then you can't get to the big things. Right. So it's just one of those things where, like, if you feel like you're going through a fog in your life and you're not sure where to go and stuff like that, oftentimes it takes a little bit of like refining yourself and what you really love and stuff like that. But also concentrate on like the little things in life. A little thing in life that is kind of like a New Year's thing is not putting as much pressure on myself, because I'm far from perfect, but I try to be a perfectionist, and it's like the worst combination ever, because like now I know I'm going to fall short like every time. But the thing is, I already set in my mind such a high standard. Right. Even for this show, I put it at such a high standard, right? So like now, if I mess up now on the show or whatever, something happens or whatever, I'm not in the back of my mind like, oh, this is fucked. Like I look stupid, or I can't believe this happened, because I'm not putting too much pressure on myself. Not to say I don't still want to do the best, but now if I fall short, I just have to realize, hey, at least I tried my best, and I need to stop putting so much pressure on myself.
I think that's a good thing for people to take away, is that to honestly set the bar. Where you hear a lot of these motivational speakers, say if you don't want to succeed as bad as you breathe, or you don't have this hustle grind mindset. If you're sleeping more than 3 hours, you're losing. Right. If you don't get up at 4 a.m. and take a cold shower and focus, set the bar honestly. I'm not saying don't take less of yourself or think less of yourself, but set a goal where you can honestly say, I tried, and then hit it. And then go ahead, set it a little bit higher, right? Consistently grow. Don't set it to a point. If you're not able to dunk on the first try, you might want to lower the hoop. You might want to go work on your calves. You might want to go step your game up in these little other areas and build it up.
The little things.
You know what I'm saying? Set it comfortably. Say, okay, you know what? I got this. And the more you succeed, the more goals you hit. Even if it's little goals, even if it's smaller goals, it makes it even that much better when you set the bar higher and you get a bigger goal. And a bigger goal, next thing you know, you're dunking.
But it's so hard, because we live in a world now where like we all have access to each other and how we're living and stuff. So I feel like social media adds to the fog, because now instead of living your life, you're looking at everybody else's life. You feel me? Like you're no longer using social media, like you're letting social media use you, and then you're kind of like losing sight of yourself, because every time that you spent 3 hours on TikTok, you invested all that time that could have been on you on somebody else. Now, I like entertainment like just like the other person.
Right.
I'm not going to lie to you and say that I read books on philosophy every night. That's not the case. Okay. I'm human. But I noticed that the more that I pay attention to other people and other people's dreams, the less that I have a full understanding of who I am.
Right. And social media is a big influencer in this whole fog mindset, because for the most part, people are going to put up what is the best part about their lives. You know, they're going to put up their travel pictures. They're going to put up, I'm doing great, or I got this new car, or check out, how I look today, whatever. They're going to put up their best moments. Social media has turned into everybody's highlight reels.
Dunking on each other.
And then even the highlight reels are transposed and fake to a certain extent. That everybody, it's very rare you come across somebody who put up like true socials. Like I got like my homegirl Jessica. Shout out to Jessica. On her TikTok, you'll see her go, she'll be dancing, whatever, and then 3 scrolls later, it's just like she's there crying, and it's like, and she says, I'm going through it too. So you go, you see she's happy, there's highlights, but she's also showing you the vulnerable side, whatever, and it's like, damn, it's like I thought I was on it's like an emotional roller coaster.
Yeah.
I thought she was doing good. She's over here dancing. She's doing this. She's doing that. And next thing you know, she's crying, saying she's hurt, whatever. I'm like, damn, what is it? And that thought of what is it? We're so conditioned to seeing somebody on the rise and doing good that once you see somebody doing bad and then they're putting it out there, it's like, what are you trying to portray?
Yeah.
And it's like, that's what I call like a true social.
Yeah. I think that's part of the reason why I do the format that I do, is because I want to give kind of like that vibe of like that genuine feeling, like that you're like in a room listening to something that, you know what I'm saying, maybe you're not supposed to be listening to, or you know what I mean, like something that's real and genuine, because I just kind of feel like now everything is so fake that the supply and demand, right? Business 101. So if there's an abundance of fake out there, I just feel like maybe I want to go a different route and provide some of that real. And I feel like what's also very real is the fact that you're not going to have all the answers, and I think that that's okay. But don't at the end of the day, you have to take accountability, because as much as it sucks to say, no one's going to save you. So you have to basically take accountability of yourself and your mindset, so that way you can get yourself out of that fog. Don't just be like, well, I'm a piece of shit. I've always been a piece of shit, so I'm just going to start eating shit now.
No. Don't down yourself. It's natural. It's natural to be unsure. Just don't feed too much into it, and don't let it take control. Some people say it's easier said than done, but like I say, if you can't reach the goal where you are right now, and you've been trying, lower it a little bit, hit the goal before it, and then let's go again.
Yeah. And for people who say, well, it's easy for you to say, or it's easier said than done, or whatever. Well, okay. Well, what is the opposite, right? What is the opposite? The opposite would be to let you keep doing your thing, let you continue to be lost,
to be stuck in a rut. If you're not going anywhere, and you want to stay here because it's not the mindset that I'm going to give up. You're not giving up. You're going back to the drawing board, coming up with something, a new plan, a new way to engage this problem. That's all that is. Some people say, well, keep going and keep going. If at first you don't succeed, try and try again. Yeah. But how are you trying? Yeah. Are you staying in the fog? Are you pushing against this wall and not want to go around? Are you going to, take a step back, reevaluate yourself, and then
exactly
keep going?
And you know what? That is the freaking mindset. All 23 and beyond. You know what I'm saying? I know it's kind of cliche to say stuff like that around this time of year, but it just kind of seems like whenever there's a new year, people all of a sudden are like, oh yeah, like I should be doing this. But with that being said, hey, look at me. Personal. I know, I know a lot of people They're going through things, and everybody has their own journey, and everybody has their own issues.
Right.
But like no BS. I don't know what you're going through, but I'm proud of you. Why? Because you're still here, and you don't have to be. You could do something else. And everybody has their ups and their downs, but you have to get back to the light somehow. And I went through that after I lost somebody that was very close to me. She was like a mom to me, and I kind of lost my way a little bit. But with that being said, if nobody said it to you yet, don't look away. I know it's personal. Don't look away. I'm proud of you. All right. And you should be proud of yourself too. All right. Hey, that's going to end the session. Hey, if you liked anything that we did, if I made you smile once, if you got anything out of this, it's free. Give a like, maybe consider subscribing, maybe tell somebody I made you smile.
Drop a comment. Get them algorithms working.
We're doing a survey around the country on the way population handles themselves and speaks and deals with their friends and interact with their peers.